Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Echo, and welcome back to another episode of this F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yeah, I did say it was going to be a double upload today. If you didn't watch the previous episode, it's in a playlist, so make sure you go watch that. But yeah, it wasn't the best of times, spoiler alert. We had two DNFs in a row, so it was a short video. I think, if I remember rightly, it was like 6 minutes long. So yeah, that kind of sucks. As you can see, though, Jenson Button's slowly improving over time as well. 14th, 13th, and 12th. So hopefully he can get P11 today. Just doing the usual. We're just going to take a look at the activity timeline. Trying to get to level 15 for the team, so we can get ourselves some new sponsors. And yeah, oh, that's good, isn't it? We get no resource points. Oh dear, but we're starting to catch up to those ahead of us, which is good. We're on pretty much on par with Alpine as well, so that's actually pretty good. We do need to be careful as well with how much R&D points that we spend, just because of the fact that there's most likely going to be a rules and regulations change coming up. But we're getting quite a few. In fact, that one's actually free. We can't get it just yet. I think that's either later on or next episode we'll get that. But yeah, we spent about 2,000 R&D points, 3,000 there, and I think really now we are going to start saving up a bit more. We need to start focusing on the aero side of things, well, because that was on the lowest bit. But yeah, we've got a personal department thing here. We can go for racecraft or whatever the other one was. I can't remember what it was now. Just missed it. So yeah, and also as well, as you can see, we do have some worn components which we are going to change out eventually. We can go for team acclaim and lose 50k, or decline and just get nothing out of it and lose nothing. But like I say, I want to get to level 15 as quick as possible. And yeah, it's been a tough couple of races, as we can now get the control electronics improvement. So yeah, didn't cost us anything, so I might as well take that. And yeah, looking at possibly upgrading one of these areas eventually. I might end up doing it this episode. I really can't remember. It's been a couple of days since I actually recorded this footage and edited it, so it's pretty much new to me as well. Hopefully as well, once our new parts come in, we'll actually be ahead of Alpine. And yeah, so that should be quite good. I think in the end I went for the powertrain. I believe. I think we went for fabrication. Did we? No, maybe I didn't actually choose anything. Maybe I'm actually saving it for the end. But I was just looking about, see what we could have done, but there wasn't really anything to do. So yeah, going into qualifying then, I had no expectations whatsoever. And this is a track where if you hit the curbs too much, then you're in big trouble. Especially this year, the sausage curbs are horrible to drive over. Especially if you put your car straight in the middle, it will send it flying. And I've done that a few times in previous games, but they seem more prominent this year. But our first lap was somewhat okay. We did a 1:30.0, I think that was. The way I'm editing it is on Share Factory, so I can't really see the numbers properly because they're very tiny. So I know it's a 130 something, so I think it's a 130.0, but we seem to be doing alright actually. We're in P14. As we come across line, we improved by 10th, but that's still good enough, surprisingly, to get into Q2, and we're actually doing very well. We're in P12 with Jenson Button in P13, so I was very happy with that. And then looking at Q2, it said it's going to rain, but there was enough time, it looked like, to do two runs, one on the medium, one on the soft. So our first run on the mediums, just getting a feel for it, because it is actually going to be a wet race as well, so it said that it's going to be raining all race. But yeah, our first run was somewhat okay, a 30.7 I think that was, so only 7/10 off our slowest. But then as we go on to our second run, it was raining, and yeah, I probably should have just gone out on the softs and just left it there. But it's okay. We actually are in P14, and Jenson Button is actually 0.14 seconds off Sebastian Vettel to get into Q3. So fair play to Jenson Button. We're going to start in P14, and yeah, I'm very happy with that. So let's see what we can do in the race. If you go on to enjoy this video, guys, make sure you drop the video a like. Also, as well, subscribe for more content. And yeah, let's see what we can do in the Russian Grand Prix.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it.
You lost to your teammate today. Was it just not your day? You won't be starting at the front of the pack. Are you worried? It must be incredibly frustrating to not make it to the end of a race due to car issues. What went wrong out there?
Appreciate your time.
Welcome one and all to today's Grand Prix here in southern Russia. A beautiful location besides the Black Sea, and a race that has historically been dominated by the Silver Arrows. Mercedes have won here 6 times since the first race in 2014. Can someone else muscle in on that record here today? It's full throttle for around 56% of the lap here at the Sochi Autodrome, a 3.6 mile run around the site of the 2014 Winter Olympics. 12 right turns and 6 left turns give us a total count of 18, with passing opportunities available into turns 1 and 13. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today. But I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sergio Perez and Sainz, Vettel, Stroll, Gasly and Jenson Button, the rookie, Norris, Antonio Giovinazzi and Ocon, Raikkonen, Russell, Max Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty, and Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Latifi, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Yuki Tsunoda. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Well, I'll tell you now, this will not be easy. Thankfully, it's a one-stop strategy, but as you can see, I thought it was going to be raining all race. And it's actually going to rain at the end of the race. So I was just thinking to myself, I'm going to go and start on the mediums, I think, because if we can take them as long as possible to then go on to the inters, we'll be in for a good opportunity at some points. You know, it's been a while since we've got points. I think after everything that's happened, I think personally we deserve to get some points in this race. But anyway then, here we go. 5 red lights are out, and away we go for the Russian Grand Prix, and it's an okay start for us, and it's a good start from Jenson Button as we're in P9 and P12 respectively. Unfortunately, we go down to P13 as Giovinazzi and Lando Norris are now ahead of us as we barrel into technically turn 2. And yeah, we have to cut the corner a little bit because we've got squeezed. But we seem to have gotten away without any damage. Excuse me. And now we've got the Alpine of Esteban Ocon going down the inside of us in that long left-hander. But we're going to re-overtake him and we're going to get back up into P14. So good start from us. Even though it is dry, the wet setup that I've got on actually seems quite good on this track for a dry track. So I knew that I still had pace, which is good. Charles Leclerc also as well up into P4, but our teammate Jenson Button doing very well in P10 as yeah, Charles Leclerc now dropping down the field again. Oh no, he's gone back up again, he's now in P4. But yeah, we seem to have gotten a decent start. We did lose a couple of positions, I believe, which kind of sucks. But we know that if we can take these mediums a very long way into the time where we need to get into the rain section of it, as we go past Kimi Raikkonen, so a fantastic start there. Yes, if we can take these mediums up to the point of where it starts raining, like I say, we're in a very good position to get some points here, as we're going to be rounding the final sector here. Look for a move down the inside of Lando Norris, but too far back. But yeah, as things are, we are still in P13. Our teammate is in 10th, and yeah, a somewhat decent start, as we're very quick actually in the straights. To be fair, we're keeping up with the likes of Lando Norris. So just you know, putting him on notice to say, look, we're here, so don't get too comfortable just yet. And lap 4, he's now over half a second ahead of us. So yeah, the McLaren is very, very quick, and yeah, I mean, like I say, the car felt okay, and you can definitely tell I'm getting used to using manual gears. It's still on 102 difficulty. Maybe next season I will up it. I'm not too sure yet. 102 seems to be about right. Just looking at tyre wear on lap 6, and it was on like 12%. So I was like, actually, yeah, I could probably take these at least over halfway. So I was feeling comfortable, and you know, like I say, was keeping up with Norris. We're staying ahead of Kimi Raikkonen as well. And yeah, lap 8 then, and you know, we've lost a little bit of time to Raikkonen, as he's got Verstappen behind him as well. So especially those on the medium tyres, they're actually in a good position for some good points. Those on the soft are a little bit screwed, I'd say. As here we go then, finally some action on lap 8, Norris against Gasly, and we're going to try and take advantage of this, as we're going to look for a move. Maybe no, because Norris gets a little bit wayward, which then blocks our path, but we haven't lost any time, thankfully, as I go a little bit deep there, and we lose a bit of momentum going through the second to last corner. Hit the curb there, lose a bit of traction, but thankfully we are okay. Our teammate is still doing well in P10, I think he is. Of course, he's 1.6 seconds now ahead of us. And yeah, here we go then, Norris on Gasly, and that's going to compromise both. Well, actually, no, it's going to compromise Gasly's, as we're going to look for a move down the inside of Pierre Gasly now. This is very, very hairy, as we're going to look for a move on the outside of Norris, but Norris is too far ahead. And here we go then. We just get past Pierre Gasly. We'll just cut across the track to stop him from re-attacking. And there we go, up into P12. And there is a yellow flag, and I messed up here because out of the session is actually George Russell. But I didn't notice that because I just saw, you know, a yellow flag and a safety car, and I saw Vettel there. So I didn't get any footage of what happened to George Russell. But you know, it's okay, and it seems Vettel has been disqualified. So that's 2 DNFs in the span of like 20 seconds, if that. And those ahead of us are all pitting. I know that they'll have to pit again for the inters. At this point, I was hoping, you know, the rain is hopefully going to still arrive. And yeah, we're up into P2 then. And Latifi is out of the session. So what's happened to him? Oh, it's an engine failure as well. The Mercedes engine power unit is not looking good. And yeah, safety car is now coming in. And apologies in the background if you can hear any noise. Someone's doing a garden. I can smell it. I smell the grass. And yeah, unfortunately we get a bad start here. And yeah, bad restart. We've got Kimi Raikkonen, who's actually behind us in third. Hamilton and Ricciardo are both on the hard tyres, so they are going to be a little bit slower than normal. But they'll still be quick enough to catch up to us, as Kimi Raikkonen's going to look for me down the inside. We just slightly jolt to the right, so it keeps him away from us. And yeah, we hold on to P2 then, so a decent start for us. As onto lap 12, the skies are getting a little bit darker. And I think as well, I'm not too sure if it started raining at this point. I don't think it has, but you can just tell the rain is coming. And yeah, Bottas is now in the pits. He's going to have to pit again though, because it's going to start raining any second now. But for now, we are leading the Russian Grand Prix. I never thought I'd say that. We're leading a race again. It's not very often that happens. But as you can... Yeah, there we go then. Hamilton's got past us. But the rain has started to pour here in Russia. Meaning that all we've got to do is just nurse this car for a few more laps. And we will be onto the Inters. As yeah, I was just looking to see what the tyre status was. Because on this game... Oh, Ricciardo goes down the inside. Give him a little bit of a squeeze. But yeah, this game's a little bit weird. Sometimes it will say it's dry, but it's actually wet, and vice versa. But here we go then. On to lap 16. The rain's started to come down a little bit more. As Charles Leclerc's going to go around past us. And yeah, he's up into P3. So this is now where, unfortunately, we are going to start losing time. Because, of course, you know, there's going to be less grip. And it doesn't help that we are on old 16 lap old mediums. As we're going side by side with Charles Leclerc, we're still going side by side. We go off the track a little bit and get past him, so we've had to give that position back. But because of the pace of the Ferrari, he's going to get past us so much easier. But yeah, we'll get our elbows out, and we're still in P3, so we've still got a chance for the podium here. Obviously, you know, eventually he's going to get past us, and yeah, it's going to be all over. But yeah, as you can see, we're losing quite a lot of traction. And, you know, it's, yeah, just like Jeff said, it's not a perfect situation. It's starting to get there, as now Charles Leclerc, he does get past us. There's no point in defending too much. And, yeah, a little bit later up the road, I was like, you know what, I'm going to have to pit. It's becoming damn near impossible to drive. So here we go then. At the end of lap 16, going on to lap 17. We are going to go onto the Inters. We've won the first ones in for the Inters. And fingers crossed it pays dividend. We are now down to P19, so we are last. But yeah, we've made the early executive decision to go on to the Inters. And yeah, these should now go to the end of the race unless the rain gets 10 times heavier and we have to pit for the full wets. So fingers crossed that doesn't have to happen. And as you're going to see here, I think, to be fair to us, we did actually brake quite late. So we go very deep into turn 1. But yeah, as you can see now, there are a few people coming to the pits, not a lot. But yeah, we've definitely lost some time to a lot of cars ahead. And oh, actually, to be fair, we're into P10, possibly P9. And of course, there are actually some people still ahead of us who haven't pitted onto the Inters, so we've got a good chance here. So we're actually behind Leclerc again, so we haven't lost that much time, in all fairness, as we're in P9, Giovinazzi in P10, and Button is in P11, so he could actually get some points as well. It could be our first double points finish this season. And here we go then, on to coming up to lap 19. And those ahead of us that didn't pit have now pitted, and we're now into P6. Our teammate is in P8. Surely not. Surely this can't be a double points finish. Can it? Well, let's wait and see, because on lap 22 you can just see that the rain has gotten so much heavier and we've lost quite a lot of time to those ahead, but we're still quicker than Giovinazzi and Button. So it was a case of, you know, just feathering the throttle and just being careful here, because I didn't want to spin it, because like I say, it is so easy to spin this year. But yeah, going on to lap 23, we've lost quite a lot of time, and yeah, we're 2 seconds ahead of Button, so that's not too bad. But as you can see, we're just, even though we're losing time to those ahead of us, we're actually gaining against those behind. So it was quite an easy. It was an easier end to the race than I actually anticipated. As we go on to the final lap here, then Lewis Hamilton will most likely come across the line to finish in first. Ricciardo should finish in second, and fair play to Lance Stroll. He's on for a podium here. But yeah, you can just see how heavy the rain is now. And yeah, it was so difficult to drive, really was, especially with manual gears, because like the gear sequences are so much different in the wet. Definitely got to upshift that little bit more, and definitely had to concentrate a lot more as well. But you know, we're keeping it on the track, which isn't too bad, as you can just see all the puddles there, so there's a chance of aquaplaning. Would be nice if it was more of a simulation where if you hit them puddles you would go spinning off, but I think it would make it a bit too realistic in a way. Like, you still want an arcade feel to it. Like, don't get me wrong, it is still difficult to drive in the wet, but you know, we seem to be doing alright as we come up to the final section now, as it's fair to say that Hamilton is going to win this race with Ricciardo in second, Lance Stroll in third, Perez in fourth, Leclerc in fifth, ourselves in sixth, Giovinazzi, Button, Pierre Gasly, and Max Verstappen not having a very good race, unfortunately. So yeah, but here we go then, ran the final few corners, and I can't believe this, but we are going to finish in the points. Not only just us, but our teammate as well, although there's quite a few people there, but I don't think anyone's going to go for a dive bomb. But ladies and gentlemen, after the 2 DNFs in a row, we come across the line and finish in P6.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Well, today we've witnessed some great battles here in Sochi, and they've taken a fantastic win. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
It's a heroic effort for any driver to race in conditions like these, and seeing them fight their way to the front was very special indeed. They were able to find all the grip, all the good lines, and had the confidence to get on the power to top it all off. That's what pushed them into first place here today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
So then, huge congratulations to Lewis Hamilton for winning today's race, edging ever closer to the title. Daniel Ricciardo finished P2, and Lance Stroll with a very good performance in P3. Perez in P4, Leclerc P5, ourselves P6, Giovinazzi in P7, Jenson Button, thank goodness for that, we've got some extra points, he's in P8, Gasly 9th, Verstappen 10th, Carlos Sainz 11th, 12th is Lando Norris, and Ocon 15th, 13th and all that. And then the rest of them just bring up the rear. In the championship, as you can see then, 89 points is the difference at the top of the table, with Lewis Hamilton on 247. Valtteri Bottas in second at the time of recording is in second. Lando Norris is actually doing very well in P3. We have moved up to P14. We now have 12 points in total, and Jenson Button is the last of the point scorers, but nonetheless he is a point scorer. And with that, we actually cement our place a little bit more in P8. Of course, if we didn't have points finish, we would be behind Alfa Romeo. So, you know, there is a battle with Alfa Romeo at the moment for 8th place. So, something to watch out for. But that is going to do it then for today's episode. Finally, we get some points. Absolutely brilliant. You know, I'm very, very happy with that. Very enjoyable race. Next episode, though, is around Singapore. So make sure you watch that, because it is incredible. But yeah, thank you very much for watching for now, guys, and I'll see you all soon. See ya.